Hello Flowers, it's Si here from Si Moto Photo. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going on a little adventure. We're taking a bunch of friends and people that sort of frequent the shop. We're all going out on a little adventure ride. It's become known as Adventure Time Sunday. We do this sort of maybe 4 or 5 times throughout the year. And today's adventure we're planning on heading up the A82 on the northwest sort of Highlands of Scotland. We go way up the 82 and then we head off towards a place called Otter Ferry, which is on the coast, and we're going to stop there for a bit of lunch, and then later on this afternoon we'll be heading back over to Dunoon and getting the ferry, the ferry boat across from Dunoon across back over to Gourock. So it's all on the west coast of Scotland. The scenery is absolutely spectacular, so if you've not been to this part of the world, it's absolutely gorgeous. The only downside is the weather looks a bit ropey just now, but it's to clear up, so hopefully a wee bit later on we'll be able to show you I'll be able to showcase some of Scotland's gorgeous scenery that it has to offer. But we've got quite a load of bikes with us today. We've probably got about 20 bikes, and we've got 4 of the guys in the shop are with us as well, so about 25 bikes out for the ride. So let's head off. Let's head up the west coast of Scotland. Join us for the ride, and I'll fill you in with some of the sort of features of the west coast Highlands on the way up. So let's go and get a wee ride in the bikes. So we're up in Loch Lomond side now. We've travelled up a good 10-15 miles, and as you can see, the weather doesn't seem to be clearing so far, which is a shame. I'm hoping it's going to clear up later on. But anyway, if you could see it, you've got Ben Lomond over there and Loch Lomond to the right hand side, and it is on a nice day. It's absolutely gorgeous up here, and it's smashing running through and seeing all the autumn colours on the trees. It really looks lovely at this time of year up here. I just wish I could show you a better vista of good old Ben Lomond there and Loch Lomond. But we're aboard the Tiger 1200 GT Explorer for this little ride out. It's a good couple 100 miles. And I have to say, I've done a review on this bike recently. If you've not seen it, I'll stick a link to it at the end of this video. But the 1200 GT Explorer is fantastic. It's got great wind protection. You've got the big tank on it, so you don't have to worry about finding a fuel stop anywhere. And I've got my heated seat on it at the minute, and my heated grips on, and I tell you, I'm in my happy place. It's a really nice place to sit, and you've got great wind protection with this frontal area in the bike. So although the weather's bad, I'm actually in a nice wee warm cosy place. So we'll charge on and we'll see how far up we get before the weather breaks. If it breaks, fingers crossed. Do you know, I've been posting videos on the YouTube channel now for about a year, and I want to say a huge thanks to everyone that's subscribed to the channel. It really is fantastic to see. It's like 2,300 odd subscribers. That's fantastic. Honestly, it blows me away. And thanks to every single person that's commented, liked, you know, sort of interacted with the content, because it makes such a big difference to, you know, how YouTube promote your videos. So genuinely a heartfelt thank you to everyone that's contributed to the channel. But you know what I've been speaking about all the way through this channel is, you know, trying to get people out on their bikes for longer, especially through, you know, the spring and autumn seasons. And when you're riding one of these adventure bikes, it makes that so much easier, because, you know, as I said there, I'm sitting in this bike, I've got lots of wind protection. I don't even, you know, it's been raining sort of in the way up here, and to be honest, it's not really been that bad at all. I'm perfectly dry behind this bike. This is the 30 litre tank version, so there's plenty of wind protection at the front with your legs as well. But it's just, you know, look at the colours and look at the roads, and, you know, as long as you're not going bananas, the tyres are perfectly capable of handling the wet roads. And it's just about having the right gear and keeping yourself warm when you get out there. But, you know, we done one of these runs back in early spring, back in February, and then we're doing one here in November. And I just love when you're riding the bike and you can smell the smells of the peat fires burning, and, you know, the autumn smells that you get. It's fantastic. And, you know, I would encourage anyone to, you know, just half the battle is getting the motivation to just go out. But once you're out, it's fine, especially if you've got an adventure bike. If you've got an adventure bike and you're not using it in days like this, in my opinion, you're missing out, because you can have just as much fun on a day like this as you can going out on just a normal day. Doesn't need to be really sunny, but just a normal day. It's great, and it's different smells and different experiences. So the moral of the story is get your bike out, man. Well, it's not really brightened up, to be honest. It's been a bit soggy the whole way up, but listen, we're still having a ball. This is a little road called the B8000, and it's taking us along the coast all the way into a town called not a town, it's an outcrop called Otter Ferry, and we're going to grab some lunch. We've teed up the staff there. We've sort of told them there's 25 of us coming along, and they've very kindly prepared us some soup and sandwiches, so a huge thanks and shout out to those guys at the Oyster Catcher for putting the grub on for us. We'll not be, I think we're about 8 miles away on this little sort of single track Nadgery path that takes us all the way up to Otter Ferry. But this is what I'm talking about it being out in the autumn. I mean, look at the colours, it's gorgeous. The trees all dropping their leaves, and the leaves turning this bright burnt orange colour on the floor. It's just, Scotland in the autumn time is just spectacular, and you know, having an adventure bike, getting out a bike ride gives you an excuse to go out and explore and go and see all the gorgeous colours and things like that. So thoroughly enjoying this, and I think the guys on the bikes behind are too. We're taking it really easy because there's a lot of stuff in the middle of the road here. There's a lot of leaves and stones, not particularly this bit, further back it was quite bad. So we're all just taking our time and making sure everybody gets there safely. So we'll catch you up at the Oyster Catcher. So that was fantastic. So we all had lunch. Everyone had a lovely bit of fish soup, actually fish soup or mushroom soup, and a BLT or a savoury easy for me to say, or a savoury cheese sandwich, and very nice it was too. I opted for the fish soup and the BLT, and as long as I don't tell the wife, I'm just going to take that as a win. We're going to head back to Stracar, and we're going to head back round the long way back to Dunoon, where we're all going to jump on a ferry, and hopefully we might see some porpoises on the ferry. That's a thing that we tend to see sometimes when we're on the ferry going across from Dunoon to Gourock, either dolphins or porpoises. So fingers crossed we see some wildlife. The route we originally had planned for this was really fantastic. It took us, when we got to the top of a road called the Rest and Be Thankful, there's like a little B road, not even a B road, it's like a little single track road that takes you from the top of the Rest and Be Thankful over the hills and all the way down and into the back end of Stracar. It's a cracking wee road, and it's a proper adventure road, and that was the plan. But when we got there last week, we'd done a kind of reconnaissance mission last week, and when we got there, unfortunately that road was closed, so we had to make alternative arrangements to get to that side, the Stracar side of the peninsula. But then last week what we did was we headed up to a place called the Tinnabrew viewpoint, and it's a fantastic viewpoint. It takes you right over, and you can look right over towards the Isle of Bute. It really is spectacular actually. It's a gorgeous place. We came out of that viewpoint and we headed down, and the route that you take back to Dunoon from there is right up and over the hills, and again it's like a little tiny single track road that takes you up and over. And we got to the road and it said road closed. We thought, oh no. So we thought, well, do we risk it? Do we go and see how bad it is? And we went over, and it was that, like a little bridge just kind of partially collapsed with the bad weather. So we managed to get the bikes through, but it wasn't safe to bring the group unfortunately. So we've had to really kind of sort of chop up this route today, just to try and make a route out of it, but we've had to sacrifice some of the roads that we would have loved to have went on, but we'll do it again, and we'll do the roads again once they're repaired. And I think they're talking about them being repaired just before the turn of the year. So smashing. Anyway, let's crack on, and we'll head up towards Stracar and back towards Dunoon, so we'll see you shortly. So we thoroughly enjoyed coming over the hill, all the way down over the top into the valley. Some spectacular views. You know, I think everyone enjoyed that, because it's roads that they probably wouldn't be getting on very often. They're really kind of wee nadgery, tight, twisty roads that you'd struggle to get a car on, to be honest, never mind anything else. So it just makes it really, really cool to take the bike on. So I would say that was really good fun. We're heading down now. I mean, look at that view, that's spectacular, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. But we're heading back now towards Dunoon, and what we're going to do is we're going to grab tickets for the ferry. There's a little shop that sells tickets half price. It's £7 in this wee shop, and it's 14 quid if you pay for it on the ferry. So we're going to get 25 bods all to cram into this little post office before we go and get the ferry. The miserable tight arses that we are. So no, but I mean, a really good day. Look forward to the next one actually. I just love this. I love getting out and at this time of year. It's it's 11 degrees today, so it's not cold. I always find anything double figures is absolutely fine for getting out on the bike. You put your heated grips on, your heated seat on, and it's just away you go. Well, look at that view. I mean, that is spectacular, isn't it? And this is Scotland when it's a kind of over. It stopped raining, thankfully, but this is Scotland. The views that we've got, just about all over the country. And the further north you go, the better it gets. It's really spectacular. I'm so lucky to live here. It's great, and we've got some really superb riding roads as well. But let's head back to the post office till we get our tickets for the ferry, and we'll see you on the ferry.